Our morning time pirates, how are ye this morning? I've returned from an actual ship. Not a pirate ship, but it was a ship. So I'm more a pirate now than I was last week. But I'm back and I missed you guys. It's so nice to have these mornings with you. So I hope you had a good time. I am not muted, so you're probably hearing an echo. There you go. And yes, lovely, 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 lovely to see you. I am actually going to write today. That's the cool thing about going to a writer's retreat, even though I had zero time to write because it was a work event for me, right? So I was editing and working with the authors, and I gave a talk and things like that. So I was actually working. I did not have any time to write. BarCon, all the social things you have to do, um, which was wonderful. Like it's so wonderful. I've signed up for next year. So any of y'all out there ready for a cruise, a writing cruise, come with me. It was awesome. An amazing group. There were 8 writers that came all together. 5. Yeah, 8 writers that came all together. And it was just incredible. Great, great group of people. We ate dinner with each other every night because it was a cruise, right? So we had all tables next to each other and hung out, played mini golf on a cruise. It was so fun. So the dates are all ready for next year. So wavewriters.com will get you there. But yeah, I'm very excited. Even Zafo had a great time. We were actually surprised how nice it was just sitting on our balcony, just gazing out over the water. It was so peaceful, so incredibly peaceful. I loved it. I loved it. So let's see how all you wonderful people are doing while we are awaiting our co-host, Alicia. I mean, she might need a break. I wouldn't blame her. Handling this ship all by herself. Let's see. We have Swank. Good morning, Swank. It is so good to see you. Is it chilly for you up there? It got chilly down here. We got home and we're like, why is it chilly? I mean, not that I'm complaining air condition wise, but it's a little weird. And Swank says, howdy, everybody. Happy 420. Yay, it's my best friend's birthday. I just sent her a little meme. Happy Cheddar Fries Day. I mean, I could get behind that. Fries with shit on them is my favorite thing in the whole world. Good morning, Alicia. How are you?
Sore.
Oh, no. You're still sore? Sunday wasn't enough to recover?
No.
No.
Like, Saturday happened, and then Sunday morning, like, everything hurt. My feet, my ankles, my legs, my knees, my hips. It hurt to walk. Now my arm hurts, like, right in here, which is probably my arthritis from when I broke it, but it's annoying. It comes and goes, so.
It's time to start walking.
I know.
You are way too young for everything to hurt that bad.
It is so sore. Like, my hip is better, but
good,
like
good.
my feet and my ankles mostly, and then now my arm hurts. So we're gonna Advil it and icy hot it and move on.
Or it sounds like you just need better shoes. Can I tell you, my shoes that I spent the $160 ridiculous on are the best thing I ever bought.
I probably do need new ones.
Because that
New
actually,
Balance,
the more you
but
described it, I mean, they're good shoes, but they get old.
yeah,
So that sounds like
I'll have to start breaking in my new ones
and then
buy a
for
new
sure.
pair.
And let's see, we had Swank says for happy 420, happy Cheddar Fries Day, happy Pineapple Upside Down Cake Day. Ooh, I love pineapple upside down cake, and it's it's Vicky, my mom's wife. It's her favorite kind of cake. So I used to, when we would go over there, I'd make one for her, and I want one now. Basically, it's just pineapples and cherries and brown sugar, and then cornbread on top. It's not quite cornbread, but pretty close. There's your pineapple upside down cake. It's so
I've
good.
never had one, so.
Oh my gosh, it's so good. But I never make them because nobody in my house will eat pineapples.
What?
I know, and I can't make a whole cake for myself. I just can't. There's no point to that.
What
Unless
if
I'm
you
making it for the
make, like,
first time. So I'm learning how.
I want to make the miniature versions.
Oh, yeah, you can make them in little, so just one piece of pineapple and one. Yeah, you absolutely can do that.
That's what I want to do. I want to make a miniature version.
That sounds delicious.
I feel like I would be the only one in my family to eat it too.
See? So you have to make it for an event. Do you see what I mean? That way you can see
Right.
who else will eat it. And yep, that works. And Spank says, welcome back, Kelly. We missed you. We thought of you last Thursday. It was Eggs Benedict Day. Oh, I do love me some
I
Eggs Benedict.
know. We were talking about how like you're missing it.
Oh, I'm just telling you. Ironically, I'm pretty sure I had Eggs Benedict last Thursday on the ship. They're the best part of the ship, like besides the view of the water, was the buffet. And I don't like buffets. They're just not for me. I can't even tell you the last time I ate at a buffet. It's been that long. Decades. And the buffet was awesome.
Nice.
So I actually liked it better than the dining room food.
Well, maybe you actually had Eggs Benedict on Eggs Benedict Day.
I might
and
have.
without even knowing it.
Pretty sure it was Thursday. It might have been Wednesday though, so I don't remember for sure. But I do love me some Eggs Benedict, I gotta say. Allie says, morning, everyone. Morning, Allie. Good to see you. Welcome back, Kelly. Missed you. Hope y'all had a good time on your work trip. We did. I mean, there are worse places to work than, out in the middle of the Gulf where it's just beautiful
Right.
and peaceful. There are definitely worse places to work. So I'm like, yeah, I mean, I worked. We did get off at Cozumel and walk around a little bit, and that was it because we were tired. And we didn't do any excursions because I'd never done a cruise before. And I didn't want to spend any extra money or stress out too much. And I'm working. So I needed to make sure that I was there when I needed to work. Right.
Right.
So now that we've done one, we have already signed up for next year. We'll probably in the first stop, because it's going to be the same stops as it was this year. It's a small cruise. It's just 5 days. And instead of doing the, sorry, I'm getting the thing up so I can show it to you. Instead of, they have the same stops. The first one was Costa Maya. I think it's Maya. And it was tiny, and they had like little pools that you could sit in and like party. And of course there were excursions out of it too, right? But I was not impressed. And so we'll probably just stay on board and relax that day, because working the whole time, right? That's a relaxing day. We don't have anything until the evening for the writer's retreat. So that's Safo and I talked like, we might just stay on board and relax on that day, sit by the pool, which we did not have time to do except for like an hour. Because we're working, right? So there was no time. Safo had more time. He wasn't working. But I didn't have any time. So I think we're just going to relax that day. And then in Cozumel, which was gorgeous, loved Cozumel, really good shopping. We got in a taxi. We're like, we just want to go to Mercado de something. I can't remember the name. Mercado just means supermarket, right? And basically, so it's an open market, and they had all these little food stalls, and it was great because we went in there. Zafo and I are foodies, right? We freaking love to eat. We want to eat local stuff if we can. And so it was so funny when the taxi dropped us off. He's like, "Are you sure this is where you want to be?" And we're like, "Yeah, that's what we're looking for." And he's like, "You're hungry?" And I was like, "Yeah, we're gonna eat." And he's like, "Okay, cool." Like he was like, "Why do tourists want to go to a supermarket?" And again, it was open. It wasn't like Kroger. It was this big open market kind of thing. And it was awesome. But I mean, they had tons of fish. The snapper looked so good. If we had been like staying at an Airbnb with a kitchen, we would have bought the snapper and taken that home to cook. It was delicious. Beautiful, clear eyes, stunning. And then they were chopping up chickens. They were chopping up pork and beef and like just everything. Wow. And their vegetables and fruits I'd never seen before. And I tried 2 of them. I bought 2 fruit. I'm like, I don't even know what this. I can't even tell you what it is because I don't know. Of course, she told me in Spanish, but that didn't register. So I do not know what the heck they were, but they were delicious. Never seen them before. So that it was just so much fun. And then we stopped at this one of the little, like vendor restaurants. Also, when we were walking around, who was eating there? Locals. They were all locals. And I was like, exactly. This is where we want to be. These are the locals. Also, it's pathetic that I'm from Houston. I don't speak Spanish. I really freaking need to learn it. Anyway, so we went up to one of the vendor things, and she made us empanadas. I love empanadas. They're my favorite, right? We got a chicken one, a ground beef one, and a beef one. So I could just try all of them. Yeah. And Rosefo and I, we split it. But the coolest thing ever, I've had empanadas. I've had so many different ones from so many different cultures.
Right.
Um, I want to, yeah, samosas like Indian, right? But they're empanadas, right? It's all the same. Every meat pies are British. Like no matter what culture I've been to, they always have bread stuffed with stuff.
Right.
And so this one, the ones I've always had though were like a flour dough that it's stuffed into here in Houston or anywhere, even in New Mexico. The ones I've had are that, and they're either fried or baked, right? These ones were made out of corn tortillas. They were
Ooh.
thicker than a corn
Mhm.
tortilla you normally buy in the grocery store. And so they were corn tortillas, and they filled them with the stuff, and they folded it over, and then just put it on a pan fried them.
Oh, wow.
It was delicious. They were so good. I was telling Kevin, I'm like, we can make corn tortillas. It's not that hard, right? Because I want this again. Like it was so good. So it was just stuff like that. And they gave us a green sauce that was so spicy that I just put a drop on it. Now, this is not my first rodeo, so I put it on the plate first to try it to see how spicy it was. And it was spicy, but the flavor was incredible. Some kind of tomatillo jalapeno
I was gonna say, was it like a salsa verde or something different? Because I know verde's green. The salsa
Yeah,
verde.
and that's all it means. So there are 1,000 varieties of that. So was it a salsa verde? Yes, it was. Was it one I'd had before? No. Because it had the tomatillo and jalapeno, which like all the salsa verdes I've had, but it had some other stuff in it I cannot identify. But it was delicious. So it was all so good. I loved it. But it was interesting. I'd never had that before. And that's why we do these things. But yeah, it was fun. And then we walked around and found the centers, the town center, which was way more touristy, right? So we got to do the touristy things too. But yeah, no, that was probably my favorite part of the trip. That wasn't involved with the writers because the writers were amazing. And here this is the details for the trip next year. Any writers? I'm looking at you, Jean. Come on a cruise. Why didn't that paste? There we go. Come on a cruise with us, Jean. Come get some writing done. Work with an editor. And hopefully we'll have enough people. It won't just be me. There'll be more than one editor. It's the first year, right? So the first year it's people trying to figure out what it was. But everyone had an amazing time. So come on, Alicia, it's your turn.
What?
You got to go on the writing cruise. So you work with an editor.
You got to convince the husband of that one.
Well, you know how you convince the husband? You all go. Because there were a lot of writer adjacents, right? So the writer comes and does the writer thing, and the adjacents get to enjoy the ship. And the ship was very kid friendly. There were kids everywhere. So like I said, they had the mini golf, they had shows, they had a circus show, they had a variety show, they had a comic. Don't bring the kids to that one. They had kid clubs, so you can even, like, you and your husband want to do something that evening, you can go check them into the club, so they can go hang out in the club. You can go do your thing and then go pick them up. It was really, really cool. So you could do like a writer's retreat / family vacation. Let's see. And Swing says hola to Ali, and Ren joined us. Hello, Ren. Good afternoon. How are you? Hello, everyone. Ahoy, Captain Kelly. Welcome back on board. Why, thank you. Thank you, Ren.
The link you posted didn't work.
Uh-oh.
It says page not found.
Well, that's silly.
I don't know.
Hold on. I'll just post the Wave Riders one instead. And then at the bottom is the itinerary and next year's thing. See if that one works. And yeah. Ali says hello, Zwank. And Zwank says bonjour, Ren. Ren says finishing off Audrey and Bash are just friends by Tia Williams. Nice. Is that the King Arthur one? Ren says, hey, Zwank. And Ren says, Kelly, have you heard of The Art of Folding Space by John Chu? Finished it yesterday, and it's such a Kelly book. Gave it 4 stars. Still getting used to sci-fi. No, The Art of Folding Space. I think I can see the cover in my head. The Art of Folding Space. Oh, The Subtle Art of Folding Space. Yes. I have heard of it. I have not read it. It's on my TBR because that cover is so freaking cool. Actually, I didn't even add it to my TBR, but I know I was looking at this because I looked at it on NetGalley. I was going to request on NetGalley, but I had too many books. Like I said, I try to keep mine under control. So, but no, thank you. That is a good recommendation. I can pick it up when I see it in the store. Since I've earned the go to the independent bookstores, which is the sad part about all of this stuff happening in April. I have events and this cruise and all that. I haven't been able to visit very many stores, but I did get to see the ones on the south side of town. So we went to see an indie bookstore in Galveston when we drove down to the cruise. And on the way back from the cruise, we hit 2 more that are on the south side of town. Because south side of town for us, it's like an hour and a half away. So it's really nice to be able to hit them now. So if I have any time this week, I'm going to run and go do that. Hit some more closer to us. Thank you for the rec, Ren. I always love recommendations. And Spike said it's 54 degrees here. Yeah, see, it got really cool.
We're supposed to be in the like low 80s today. It's a high
today, but I wonder if you'll get the cold later. You seem to get it later than us.
True.
Right? Like it goes east. So.
They haven't said anything about cold temperatures coming in, but I'll keep an eye on it.
You have dipped a little south. So I mean you're a little south than us, so you don't get everything we get. So maybe that's the
Yep.
Let's see. Hola. And Molly joined us. Hello, Molly. It is so good to see you. It was nice to see you in chats yesterday. Molly says, I'll need some of all of that by the time I get home tonight. You will need some of all that.
Maybe the cold weather?
Oh, yes. And Molly, 36 degrees here. So over the... Oh, no, it's too cold for you.
She wants warmer weather.
Yeah, you want the sunshine and the sea.
I mean, if I could send it to you, I'd bottle it and ship it.
Yeah. Alicia, you need to go more often. Yeah, to the thing. Exactly. You need to go more often so your muscles get used to it.
I think it also didn't help that I went on one ride 14 different times. So my body is like...
Okay, that totally explains your aches and pains so much more. I'm like, how are you hurting that much just from walking or standing in line? Okay.
No, it wasn't even the line. I went single rider for this ride, and I went on it 14 times because I was trying to beat my high score, and I still didn't beat my high score after 14. Jesus.
That's why you're sore. Because those rides, they push you around, man.
Yeah, and it's like you 6 people to a car, and then you sit there and you have to hold a gun. So you're
of course, very excited.
She's like, what's happening, Mama?
She's like, why are you so happy? It must be me.
So yeah, between me trying to hold this gun to shoot aliens and focus on the targets one at a time, my arm is now locked in position, and then at some point they spin you around.
Yeah, I'm so convinced. I'm like, oh no, Alicia, there's for walking. Oh yeah, I mean, there's gonna be something wrong. I'm worried about you in my brain. I'm going, that's not normal. And then you're like, I'm like, oh, okay. I have all the information now.
No. It was the ride that did me in. And of course, that ride is at the back part of the park. So you got to walk all the way to the front to get back to your car.
So funny. Oh my God, I'm crying. There you go. That's a plot twist right there. That's what that is.
Right?
A plot twist.
I mean, I do need to walk more, but that's not the issue. It was the ride.
You're in so much pain, though.
The ride
the sacrifices we make for our own pride. I will beat my score.
And I still didn't.
Which means you've learned nothing and you're going to do it again.
Maybe not so much, but I will go and practice some more. My highest score is 695,824, and the closest I got was 511,875.
Not even close. My gosh, you must be on fire when you had your record.
It's probably why my arm's my turn to hurt.
It just took a little longer. That's right. Oh, that's so funny.
Oh man.
And Molly says hello to everyone. And Jean, there's Jean. Seriously, Jean, come to Wave Riders. Oh, let me know if that link worked. Did that link work too?
It did, and I posted the one that you tried to post, so that one should work.
Thank you. And Jean says, hello, Kelly and Alicia. It has taken a turn. It was 30 degrees Celsius on Friday and 0 degrees Celsius today. Yeah, see, it was like, whoop. I was not expecting that in April. Safo and I were like, what is today? That is not April Houston weather. I'll tell you that. And it is absolutely freezing. Yeah, literally freezing. It's 0 degrees Celsius. Molly says, we always use yellow cake mix. Oh, for your pineapple upside down cakes? Yeah, that sounds a very Midwestern thing is always cake mix, right?
So what do? You just put like a ring of pineapple, a cherry in the middle, and then you just do the cake mix?
No, you have to make brown sugar and butter and melt a bunch of it and put it at the bottom. And then you put the pineapple in and the red cherry, and you can use yellow cake mix. Like I said, I like a cornbread mixture better. But like I said, it's not really cornbread, but it's not really yellow cake mix. It's something in between. But it gives you more texture when you've got the cornmeal in there. Right. I'll see if I can find my recipe and send it to you. But if you use yellow cake mix, that's what you're going to get. Like if you buy it from the store, that's usually what it is. So if you just want to try it and see if you like it, there's nothing wrong with that. Right. So like I said, it's like brown sugar and butter on the bottom, and then the pineapple, cherry, and then some yellow cake mix. And then bake it per directions on the box.
Okay.
And then when you take it out, make sure you spray everything really good too with like Pam or whatever you have, whatever your spray mix is. You don't have to put flour on it, but I would spray it really good. And then once it's all done cooking, you pull it out to cool for a few minutes so everything solidifies nicely. And then you put a plate on top and flop that baby over. Knock it a couple times if you're going to make the little one, right? Knock it a couple times and then pull it off gently. And then you should have your nice little upside down cake.
We're going to figure this out. I'm going to try it.
It's yummy. I love them. And Molly says, yes, Kelly, you need to learn how to make a miniature version. Yeah, that would be awesome. Jean says, I've been writing and trying to submit to Harlequin. Any thoughts on Harlequin, Kelly? No, I would get an agent. I would say that first. You need an agent first. That's the only thoughts I have. And good morning, Molly. Swing says.
Oh, guten Morgen.
And Nikki says, I'm trying to finish my Pride and Prejudice pages so I can get back to reading Rainbow Valley by Alan Moore. Yay! I am caught up from the Wednesday I left. I haven't read from last Wednesday at all yet. So I do have some pages to read for sure. And Swank says, ciao, Jean. And Jean, it took me a minute to remember ciao means hello and goodbye. Sorry, it took me a minute. Jean says, I was like, is Jean leaving? What did I miss? Jean says, I've been trying to get 500 words each day. What is your daily quota of words when you write? I don't have a daily quota of words when I write, but I have goals of when I need to get things done. So, sometimes my quota could be 500 words. Sometimes it could be 2,000. It depends on how productive I was one day or how many days I skipped. Because I'm not a write every day kind of girl, even though I wish I was. But I'm just not. My brain won't do anything every day. Well, except eat and, the other part. That's about it. That's the only thing that my body will do every day. My body. Who am I kidding? My body is under control of my mind. It's the only thing my mind will do every day.
It's true.
But yeah, you have to do whatever works for you. And it works for you as long as it does. And then you change it. Right? And then do that thing. And a different project might need a different thing. So if that is working for you right now, that's fantastic. Keep it up. Most professional writers I know, the most of them on their work days, they get 2,000 words in a day. So I can name you at least a dozen I know that is what they do. So it's usually Monday through Friday for them, not every day, though some are. Stephen King's every day. He's compulsive. He can't help it. Brandon Sanderson is as well, though Brandon usually gets more like 4,000 in a day, but his goal is 2. And so one after another, it's 2,000 words. 2,000 words a day. That's most people's. The professional writers ones making money, paying their mortgage with this job. It's 2,000 words a day. But you're still starting, Jean. You don't need to be there yet. That's not where they started either. Molly, sometimes living in the Caribbean is cheaper than living in America. Maybe think about moving there. Their internet sucks. I'm sorry. I can't move there. I wouldn't mind having a vacation home there, but I can't live there. I need internet. For 2027 Wave Riders, thank you, Alicia. So excited. Seriously, y'all should come. It's fun. Molly says, I never need cold weather. Yes, and also to Zwank, all of the items we are celebrating today. And Dharma, good morning, Dharma. Good to see you. Good morning. I'm back to drafting the second book in my urban fantasy series. Yay! I will be working on finishing my draft as well. So today's the day. That is a good thing going to the retreat like that. I get inspired when I get home and get more motivated to get stuff done. Part of the reason why I do them. And Molly says, so I have a busy day today. I'll be leaving the house in about an hour for a last minute appointment to the Minute Clinic, then to Mom's to see how much of her money I've spent this year. Looking at you, Happy Planner and Temu, and rearrange her pantry and then go to food pantry. Be home around 9 p.m. Ooh, yeah, you got a long day, Molly.
Ooh.
Well, I wish you luck and productivity and some peace, because I know dealing with your stepdad is what you'll have to do if you go to your mom's, right? It's not always your favorite thing. So I wish you peace.
And productivity.
And productivity. Molly says, here's one from scratch, but no cornmeal. Excellent. So there's an example right there if you want to see what the brown sugar butter mixture is. Molly says, I'll keep hunting. Thank you, Molly. Zwank says, it was my dad's favorite cake. I love that. I love that. Molly says, Alton Brown's version with cornmeal. Yeah, and that's probably the recipe I have. I actually don't like Alton Brown anymore. I know him too well, but his recipes are still usually spot on. Allie says, it's Allie. Hi, Allie. And Zwank says, Privet Dharma. I don't know what greeting that is.
That's Irish, Scottish.
Well, then I'm saying it wrong, because if it's some kind of Celtic language, they don't say all of those letters, so I don't know how to say it. Jean says, they say I can submit without agent. Any advice on how to get an agent? A persistence. You need to continuously submit over and over again. Querytracker.com is a really good way to keep track of agents and who you're submitting to and what they look for. You need to find agents that are looking for what you're writing, who sell what you're writing. The agents are the ones that have when it comes to the big five, which Harlequin's one. I can't remember who they're owned by, but they're one of the big. They're big. So you need to make sure that the agent is one that has the contacts with them. So you need someone who's selling romance, and those are the people that you need to submit to in order to get there. And Dharma says something. Is that, I don't know, it's Eastern European. Is that Russian? Is that Ukrainian? It's not Greek. I know there's a totally different, but I'm trying to do the thing. Is it Russian? I don't know. I'm not very good at the symbols either. And Molly sent in a cheaty version with cake mix. There you go. Lots of pineapple recipes. I'm pretty sure the Alton Brown one is the one I use.
Oh, Betty Crocker. I got both of them pulled up.
There you go. The Betty Crocker one will be easier, right? So if you just want to try it and see if you like it, and then if you really want a more authentic version, because Alton Brown is from North Carolina. And no, he's not. I'm totally lying. He's from Georgia. So most of his recipes are very southern. I still use his biscuit recipe. It's his grandmother's biscuit recipe, and it's dang amazing. So that is my biscuit recipe from today until the day I die. I'm passing it on to the kids. And Molly says hi to Dharma. Dharma says, hey, Molly. And Privet is Russian. Oh, okay. Okay, it's Russian.
I was wrong.
Okay, now I can hear it in my head, but I can't say it. Now that you said Russian, I'm like, oh, yeah. Okay, I got it. But I can't say it. And there's Query Tracker. Thank you. I highly recommend Query Tracker. I used it a ton when I was out there looking for an agent. When I was trying to submit books. So it's very, very useful. It even shows you, because a lot of times when you submit, they don't even answer you back, because they get my agent friend gets like 250 emails a day. So they can't answer. They literally can't answer them all, which is also why they decide in 5 seconds whether they're going to even look at your work or not, because they don't have time to do anything else. So that's why it's a numbers game. Rejection is part of being a writer. That is absolutely something you've got to get used to. Doesn't mean anything except that everyone is trying to be a writer. course, not everyone, but enough everyone's. And there are way fewer books being published than there are people wanting to write, which is why so many of us went indie. So yeah, Cora, what are you doing? She's digging at something. She's digging. I could not get up early enough to walk her, so I'm going to walk her after this. But hopefully, later in the week, I'll be able to get back to the wake up early and walk her. And Charles joined us. Good morning, Charles. Listening to The Burning Witch 2 and cleaning up the big mess that is my kitchen. I understand that completely. I swear the kitchen always needs to be clean. Clothes always need to be washed. Those two things are inevitable, unending, and the true infinity loop.
And vacuuming.
Yes, except I can skip that one. I can't skip the other two. Jean, I had to approve the word Russian on Zwank and Dharma's messages. So interesting. That gets in front for that is interesting.
Mhm.
That's very interesting. Huh. I wonder what other countries. Going to start just putting countries in to see what's approved and what isn't. Molly says, hey, Charles, Stewmas. Yeah, I'm jealous about the stew, man. I love stew.
They were
How
making
1984, Zwig says. Yep. Yep. Well, how 1984 is the things when they just disappear, right? We've all seen that, where the messages just disappear. They don't ask for approval or anything. They're just gone. That's 1984.
But I'm here. I was born that year. I am here. I did not disappear.
No, it's the book. It's the book.
I know. I haven't read that one yet. I need to, though.
All right. What am I doing now? That's it. We're on. Are we on time? 4 minutes late. That's not so bad for being gone for a week. I'll take it.
Considering how last week's Morning Time Pirates went,
Oh, no.
we're fine. We're fine. We are back on schedule.
The captain's back and we're back to a tight ship. Let's go. All right, here we go. We're going to do our first sprint. I will have to, like I said, I'm writing today, but I will have to reread this last chapter, right? Because it's been like 2 weeks since I've written anything. So I need to go back and remind myself where I am. Molly says, disappear like those scientists I keep hearing about. Yeah. Some of those, though, calling them scientists is a stretch. So I'm very curious about what's going on. Jean says, if I don't have a completed novel, should I look for an agent? No, you should not. You should have a completed novel before you look for an agent. You should have a completed novel before you're submitting anything to Harlequin.
And I was always told in my writing classes that you want to have it as polished as possible. It won't be perfect, but the more like editing you do or whatever, and before submitting, then it's a little easier. Because they're still gonna put it through like different edits, but
they want it as clean as possible because they want to do as little work as possible. But they do want finished novels. You cannot do one on a synopsis until you're already an established author. Once you're an established author, then you can actually just do a proposal and they'll decide whether they want to buy it or not. But until then, all of us knew you got to have a complete novel.
Yep.
Now, if Harlequin is asking for short stories, then that's different. So there are a lot of times with short stories, you can send them in without an agent to a lot of places. For that, I would go to duotrope.com. So if you go to duotrope.com, it will tell you a whole bunch of places that are looking for short stories. It has pay all the way from, they don't pay, to token payments, which is what we would pay for our stories, to shared profit, to per word and professional rate. So it even has them all listed for where they are and not being published at all. Look at the free ones. Look at anywhere to actually get your words out there. So just keep going from there. And then as you learn to write more and you get more editorial feedback, right? Because even with those, they'll give you editorial feedback and you learn more and you write more and you learn more from your classes, then you can keep submitting until you're at pro rate.
Yep.
But I would recommend doing that first. Jean wants to know about truck drama. I have a feeling that is triggering. So why don't we wait until next break? So remind me if I forget. We'll talk about truck drama on our first break. Molly says, yes, you must read 1984 to be aware of what's current. And Zwang says, how about Iran, Greenland, Orange Baby? No, we're not going to talk about that either. Zwang says, I know, Molly, that is so scary. Molly, okay, but anyone disappearing is peculiar. Yeah, I suppose. Swank says, Jean, and laughs. Yep, yeah, and there's the Duotrope. I have a subscription to Duotrope, even though I haven't sent a short story lately, but I should. I've got like 3 that could find a home, so I should get on it. Jean says for the submission, they are asking for only 3 chapters. Yeah, they asked for 3 chapters, but it needs to be a complete novel. And if it's not a complete novel, they're not gonna. That's Harlequin too. They won't want to see it. I asked for 3 chapters.
That's
But
that's
if you
usually
don't have a complete novel, I'm not interested. I'm not going to wait for you to write it. And then
that's
wait for you to write, just draft it and send it to me. No, man, I got stuff to do. So I'm telling you, they don't want to either. And they're getting way more submissions than I am, especially since mine are closed right now. So they say they only want to see 3 chapters, but I guarantee you they are expecting you to have a completed novel.
Yeah, that's usually the process because we touched on that too in my writing class. And basically, what you would do is you would have to write the whole novel. And then once you start submitting, then they'll say, oh, just send in 3 chapters once you get to that point. But then if they like those 3 chapters, then they're going to say, send me the whole thing. So you have to be able to say, okay, I have it done. It's polished as much as possible. Here you go.
And they'll want the full synopsis too. So
Yep.
they want to know you have a beginning, middle, and end already.
Yep.
So yeah, that's, even though they asked for the first 3 chapters, they want you to have that book finished.
That's them taking a sample and then saying, do I like this? Okay, yes, give me the rest.
Yeah, or can I sell it? That's really what they're looking at. Can I sell this?
Right.
Jean says, no anywhere that is looking for plays. No, I don't know anywhere that ever looks for plays. For plays, usually you have to find a theater and a producer to actually pay for it. So I don't know anyone who publishes plays. That is definitely not my area of expertise. Unfortunately, I'm sorry. Dharma says 1984 has been moved from post-apoc fiction to current events. Yes. Yes, it has.
That's scary.
Yes, it has. But it has. It has. I just read it a couple years ago, and again a couple years ago, and I was like, wow. Except for the fact that it's very male eye gazy. Beyond that, the actual environment, like the setting, is freaky familiar. All right, for real this time, 30 minutes. Here we go. And there was our first sprint. I decided to read a little bit more in order to get back into it. So must refresh my memory. Get back into it's not really refresh my memory. It's more like get back into the same headspace I was in so that I can continue writing the ending. I need to be just as anxious in order to get that true, honest feeling into the book. How'd you do, Alicia?
I took my Advil and icy hotted my arm, basically from the elbow to shoulder. So I'm definitely feeling it now. Oh man.
You're like, it's definitely icy hot. It's properly named.
Yep. The more I feel it, the more like I'm trying to like in tune where exactly it hurts because I'm trying to figure out if it's shoulder or if it's elbow, and I think it's closer to the elbow. So I put more icy hot there than the shoulder. And then I had some apple coffee cake and a bacon, egg, and cheese croissant for breakfast.
Yummy.
So, and then I started.
Coffee. That's breakfast.
I got that too. And I started reading my stuff so I could get back on track.
Very cool. That's me too. We got to get back on track. We got to make this thing. We're back. I'm done with traveling until June, or end of May. So I need to not that I don't have anything to do. We're selling books at a poetry and arts festival Saturday and Sunday. We get to go see Phil why do I keep forgetting his name? Rosenthal. So it's busy. There isn't any like not busy in my life, as you are all well aware. So, but not traveling. So I should be able to get this book done. Let's see. Where were we? Talking about plays. Swag says Samuel French does plays. Jean says Fahrenheit 451 is also current events. Yes. And Molly says, yes, agreed, Jean. And Vanessa joined us. Hi, Vanessa. So good to see you. Good morning, Pyrus. Welcome home, Kelly. Thank you, Vanessa. Thank you. It's good to be home. Sort of. I've been doing a lot of cleaning the last 2 days. So, as you know, coming home, and of course, no one touched the litter boxes, and no one did the dishes, and no one did. So, hey, my puppy's still alive and happy. So I guess I'm going to take that and move on with my life. Let's see. And Vanessa says, y'all want current events? Read Parable of the Sower. So accurate down to predicting Trump. And Spoopy Wife. Hello, Spoopy Wife. If you have another name that you would like us to call you by, please let us know. Otherwise, I mean, Spoopy is perfect. Or do you know?
That's Bailey.
Bailey with a B?
Bailey. Yep.
Hi, Bailey. Welcome in. So good to see you. Hi, joining for a bit between appointments, reading Mark of Distinction by Jessica Dada. Ooh, well, that sounds fun. Vanessa, also, I missed y'all. Aw, hey, Vanessa.
She was only with us.
Routines. I'm sorry?
Vanessa was only with us Monday and Tuesday, and then she left us Wednesday through Sunday.
So many things to do. There must have been a convention. Was there a convention, Vanessa?
No, she went to go visit family in Tennessee. Oh. How was your trip?
Gotcha. Vanessa, you should consider Wave Riders next year. It was so amazing. Not that you need, to talk to an editor, but it was really, really fun. Lots of writing time.
Maybe she could be one of the editors.
She actually could, quite frankly. Let's see. And my husband is Spoopy Doot. So mine was based on his. I love that. That's awesome.
Love it.
So much fun. Yeah, Vanessa says also best user ID ever. That's where we got the explanation. That's so cool. Lindsay says, hi guys, how was your trip? Sorry I got carried away with work and forgot to log on. I hate when that happens. Absolutely. I hate when that happens too, because we miss you when you don't log on. So hello, Lindsay. Good afternoon. Yes. Vanessa says, Spoopy Wife laughs. I mean, that's a great reason. I love it. Molly says, hey, Vanessa, Spoopy, and Lindsay. Vanessa says, hey to Lindsay and to Molly. And Allie says, I got to the middle of chapter 34, page 364 in Pride and Prejudice. See, everyone has different page numbers. Because 354 for me was like 220 something. Do you see what I mean? So that's so funny. That's why we had to do chapters and we couldn't do page numbers.
Yeah. Because I
book
think
that's been around 240 years, it's going to have a lot of different, or 212 years, it's going to have a whole lot of different versions.
Yeah, because my 364 for me is like close to the end because mine's only 375 pages.
That's why I laughed when you were doing that because I was like, mine's over 400 pages long.
Right.
But that's okay. We get it over sooner. Let's just do it. I'm glad we went with your page numbers.
We're getting there.
Let's get it done. Let's just get it done. And Christina says, good morning, Kelly. Alicia. Good morning, Christina. And Christina gives our PSA. Remember to hydrate, feed thyself, check the laundry, take meds, stretch, and show some love to the like button. Also, make sure you sub and ring that bell so you hopefully get notified. And Bailey says, read 3 pages in like the last 5 minutes. I mean, that counts. And Megan joined us. Hello, Megan. Good afternoon. Hi, Kelly and Alicia. Vanessa says, Christina. Megan says, I'm reading The Assassin's Blade by Sarah J. Maas. Excellent. Excellent. Still have not read any Sarah J. Maas. Swank says, Jumbo, Vanessa. And Salam, Mama. Christina says, hi, Vanessa. Hi, Megan and Swank. And Vanessa says, ciao, Swank. Vanessa, oops. I did pop in on Wednesday morning before I left. My trip was great. Oh, nice. How was the weather? How was the weather for you? Because there was crazy freaking weather I see when I got back. And the news is just talking about all the crazy weather across the country. So just wondering if you missed any of that or if it tortured you while you were there. Vanessa says all writers need to talk to editors. Oh, I agree. But I mean, this is more like I haven't talked to an editor before kind of retreat. That's what I mean, Vanessa. You're right. Every writer, even us editor writers, still need an editor to go through our work. I 100% agree. Molly says, Christina. And Christina says, hi, Molly. Swank says, howdy to Linz. And Megan says, hi to Christina. And Bailey says, I'm about to be a regular. My older kiddo has ABA in the mornings, Monday through Friday, starting next week. So I'm excited I found you guys. Oh, yay. Well, welcome into the Morning Time Pirates. Welcome in. We love our regulars. Allie says, I actually have to read to 604 to be caught up on my copy is 704 pages. Yeah, I'm not caught up. I'm only caught up from before. Maybe again, it's the ebook copy. Remember the ebook copies pages will be
that's true
inflated if you make them bigger. So that's very possible. But yeah, so I need to read to in my copy to be caught up before Wednesday is up to 347 for mine. So I will do some of that today, but not right now. Swank says, Lindsay, damn, spell correct. It's all good. I like Linz. New nickname. I don't know if Lindsay likes it or not, though. Vanessa says, our weather was great, though it did rain Saturday. The rest of the days, including the drive to and from, was fabulous. Oh, that's good. That's good. I'm so glad you got to avoid the nastiness. That's good. And Swank says, Shalom, Bailey. And Vanessa, I've got a lot to do because I did nothing while I was there. Yeah, that's me too. I'm like, I have so much to do. So, and one person was having trouble with getting her document to me, and she signed up late, so I didn't get it earlier like I was supposed to. And so I still have to do hers, so I still have to edit her little section as well. But we talked a lot and talked about a lot of things, so it was a lot of fun. Great group. I mean, great group, because this is a first time, right? First year, first time doing this kind of thing, first time with this group of people. It could have gone any way, right? Yeah. Don't know how it's going to work, but these writers were amazing. Great group of people. And yeah, Allie confirmed it's ebook. Yep. And Molly said, okay, I have spread some of today's to do across the week. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. There you go. That's so much better, Molly. I was like, oh my gosh. No, you know what you were thinking? I could totally get all this done. That's what I do when I make my list every night too. I could totally get all this done.
I do that same thing.
I never get it all done. Well, almost rarely. Remember that one time a couple weeks ago where it was like, I got everything done. It was like a miracle.
I don't know how I did this.
I don't know how. It's literally a miracle. So,
yep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right, and it's time real quick now, but let's be quick. As we would like to know now about your husband's truck, Alicia.
Yeah, we had some drama last week while you were gone. Because so you guys know that my husband's truck has been having this issue with the charging system, which is related to the battery. So for whatever reason, this thing keeps popping up, and it came up again last week. So he took it to the dealership, and apparently the light went out, but he took it there and he said, "This is happening again. Deal with it."
Mhm.
They kept it for like 2 days, and in like a 10-minute span on the second day, they were like, "Well, we can't duplicate it, so you just have to take your truck back and wait until it happens again." Meanwhile, he's sitting there complaining about how he's done like 9 grand worth of repairs over the course of the last year. So now he's like, "I need to buy a new truck." And I'm sitting there going, "It's not in the budget." Like, on a 2-month paycheck, it's not feasible. There's nothing to like, I can't like cut back to make
Can't
room
stretch
for
it anymore.
Exactly. So I said, "I don't know what to tell you." I said, "If you get commissions, I can start saving the commissions and that kind of thing." And then, so meanwhile, it's like it went in one ear and out the other. And he's just like, "Well, I see this one and they have it for this price. And I wonder if they could get it down. And my truck is worth this, but they're willing to offer me this." And I'm just like, what part of no? It's not in the budget. Did you hear? Because
Did you not hear? Yeah, you're not listening.
and he was like, "Well, what is your concern? Like, why wouldn't we be able to do it?" Like, at this point, I've already recognized that he is trying to sell me on him getting a new vehicle. And I'm like, "No, no, no."
I
And
think what he doesn't understand is you're 100% behind him getting a new vehicle if there was money.
no, and I have reiterated that several times.
Yeah,
I'm
it's not
like,
like I
"Listen."
don't want you to have one.
Exactly.
That's not
I
what
was
this is.
I was telling him, I was like, it's not a no, you can't have one. It's a no, there's no money in the budget to do it." Like, it's a
They're not
not
gonna
right
let us have
now.
one because they want payment.
Exactly. And I said, "My biggest concern is the what ifs." Because he even tried to sell me on well, we could get the truck, finance it for this, and then any commissions coming in, that would just be set aside for the payments.
And how many
What
commissions
if
has he had so far?
He's had a couple, but in the
Okay.
beginning, they also gave him like a guarantee. So from August to April, so he already got the last one. Well, actually, it was August to March, because then his commission was bigger than what the guarantee was.
Mm.
So it was like he got the guarantee, but he got the commission, which was bigger. But they gave him like a guarantee. And then, so that has expired. So now it's all commission based. So he'd have to get a commission every month
Mhm.
so that we could have monthly payments for this vehicle.
Hmm.
Told him to sleep on it. We'll think about it. We'll figure something out. But the answer is no. There is no money in the budget. And I even showed him the 15-page situation for the finances again.
I was gonna
And
say, did
he's
you
just
already
like,
show him that? Yeah.
"Yeah, I did. No, we went through it again." And I said, if you were still here at this job, fine and dandy, whatever, we could go for it. But we are here. We are not here anymore. This ship has sailed.
Mhm.
We are here. There, you see, there's no wiggle room. None whatsoever.
I can't make up the numbers. They're just here. Look at them.
Exactly. Like,
Do the math yourself.
and he's exactly. I'm sitting there going, "Well, I mean, you obviously, they're all the bills are like fixed, like they're fixed amounts. The only one that changes or varies is the electric." So like, and I told him, I said, "Even if I just like fucking got rid of all of streaming, that's $130. Do you really think they're going to give you a $130 truck payment?"
Mhm.
No.
Nope.
Try again. So this past weekend goes along,
Mhm.
I'm at Universal. You know what kind of text message I'm getting?
Oh, no.
I'm looking at vehicles. Why? I thought we went over this. He's looking at vehicles. He is talking to the people at the dealerships through messages or email. Why? Then he gives me the plot twist. His dad is thinking about giving him some of his inheritance money early so that he could buy the vehicle.
I mean, if he's gonna do that and buy it outright, then there you go, problem solved.
Nope. It would only cover most of it. But we would still have to finance a portion of it, which still then goes, I need commission money to pay for the monthly payment. Again, what ifs? I don't like what ifs. Because what if he doesn't get a commission each month?
Yeah. What
What
happens when
if
they
we're at a point where
take the car back? Does he
Well,
not
no.
understand?
he hasn't bought it yet. Right now he's still finagling. He's still trying to get them to come down. And I'm just going, do you know how badly I am stressed out right now?
I'm just thinking if you would work this hard at your job, you'd probably make more
Well,
commission.
But that's the thing, is like he is the top seller right now at his job.
Well, it doesn't matter if he
But like these things take time. Like the things don't come in every day.
Have you tried maybe the compromise can be you can save up, pretend whatever the car payment is going to be, which if he's been doing research, he should have an idea, and then save up for the next few months to see if it is something that can be done?
The only time I would be able to save up money is if there was a 3-month paycheck, because that has wiggle room. A 2-month paycheck, I ain't doing shit. Like, it's tight. Like, even like the groceries is kind of cut short, because I usually do $800 a month for groceries because 4 people and 2 cats.
Mhm.
But on a 2-month paycheck, I'm lucky if I get $725.
Well, if you can't save up even for a pretend payment, how does he expect you to actually make a payment?
He's counting on the commissions. I do the budget so that I don't count on commissions.
Well, why don't you save up from the commissions? That's what I mean. Save that commission money.
Yeah, he just got one, and I haven't done anything with it because now he's putting me in limbo, and I'm just like, dude, the answer is not now.
Look, I understand the frustration of not having a reliable car, but he made that choice.
The thing is, though, is that his car still works. Me personally, I think it's an electrical issue. And he
Yeah,
keeps
but I'm telling
having
you, if I had to
issues
put
with-
$9,000 in a car over a year, I'd be buying a new car too. So I understand his desire to do it, but a desire doesn't mean I can afford it. Hey, dog.
and I'm trying to make it last as long as possible. Like, I want the truck dead and not moving before he changes it. And he's like, I need to do this. Where is the money? And I'm going, it's not existent. The tree has not grown big enough.
That's right. Our money tree is not ready to be plucked yet.
So that's where we're at. And I'm glad I wasn't home.
Right?
To be
No wonder
honest,
you played that game shooting things over and over and over again.
I was picturing all of the aliens' heads as my husband's. For all of his frustrations.
Yeah, all of the debts, all of the everything. Yep, 100%. 100%.
And I mean,
It's
I
a
love
healthy
I
way to
love
take out
him.
frustrations.
Yes, I love the man to death, but my
Oh, yeah.
God, I want to strangle him.
Yeah, no, love and trying to make finances work, they're exclusive. They're not like those are completely
yeah.
different things, and I get that.
So that's where we're at now. It just keeps plot twisting.
Oh,
And
I'm so sorry.
apparently, if they go this route, if they continue with this route, then I would get to do what I want with the current commission, which is me trying to pay things off, because we're this close to being debt free. And this close. Yes. All I have to do is pay off credit cards. I could potentially do it this month and next month and be done. But now he's throwing a monkey wrench in, and I'm going,
You're like, I've been trying so hard for this. Let me have this.
right?
Oh my
Why
gosh.
can't
If I
you
don't let the dog out, she's going to claw her way through the door.
go to sprint? Go to sprint.
All right, here we go. Here we go. Sprint, sprint, sprint. And there is our second sprint. I'm still moseying along in this draft. How did you do, Alicia?
I started looking at finances again.
You're like, how can I creatively math it? Let's see. Zwank says Kelly finally finished The End of the World as We Know It last week. 5-star. Oh, yay. Yay. I did add that to my TBR, so I'm looking forward to that. And then Vanessa said, what's it called again, Kelly? It's called Wave Riders. If you go to wavewriters.com, you will see the 2027 dates are already up there. It's the last week in April. And I'm very excited about it. Lindsay says, I'm good with Linz or Linz with a Z or Lindsay. Molly says, well, the thing is, after today, I still had something every day. Like I haven't had a schedule like this for 3 years. Oh, I see you. Yep. I get it. Lindsay said, that's a pile of possibilities, not a list. Yeah, I'm afraid that's true. Look, I try. I'm sure Molly's trying too, right? I feel like I could totally do all this. And then you're looking at it going, I totally cannot do all this.
That's me every day. I mean, I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, no, same. That's probably why we all understand. We all do the same thing. Zwang says, Molly, I've had my morning routine for 4 months now, working on afternoon and evening routine. It has helped me so much, and it has been so great. It has helped my odd DHD so much. Yes, I love it. We are glad you are here. It helps me too. Like just this is the rhythm that I need to do because I'm so bad at schedules. I thrive under schedules, yet I can't keep them. I don't know what to say. Molly says, and you are very diligent with it. Inspiring. It is. So what is the truck's issues again? All right, so we went through that. Allie, I have ADHD, but I can't take medications for it because I have POTS. And there is no medication I can take for ADHD due to my tachycardia POTS issue. Oh, I'm so sorry, Allie. It's very frustrating. Molly says hugs. And Bailey says sympathize with the tism over here. Yeah, where all of us are neurospicy to some degree. Let me tell you that right now. So you are in kind company, like company, similar company, people who get it. That's where you are, Bailey. Vanessa says, Alicia, you can hold back some of the cash from your FIL and not use it all to pay it off. Then keep it in savings to supplement the monthly payment. Yeah, that's true. Molly says, why is his dad only giving him part of the inheritance rather than cover it all? Well, inheritance is weird, right? Like you can give a certain amount of inheritance per year without having the person you're giving it to have to pay taxes on it. It was 10,000. I have no idea what it is anymore. So maybe that's what the dad is doing so that they don't have to pay taxes on it.
I think that's what he's doing because I think the threshold is now 18,000.
Okay, there you go.
But what he does, or it might even be more, because he basically he gives us like 1,000 for our birthdays and Christmas, and then whatever is left, that would be the inheritance amount. Mm-hmm. So, I imagine the amount that he's truly giving us would be like half his, half mine, but it's going to be a family vehicle apparently. So,
well, it is a family vehicle. I mean, that part that makes sense to me, but yep. And Lindsay says, can he afford a used vehicle for the money his dad is giving him and his trade-in?
He probably could, but he doesn't like to have a used vehicle if he doesn't know where it came from, if that makes sense.
Well, even if you know where it came from, when you're dealing with these issues with your vehicle already, I want a new one too. I understand that. Molly, well, every time the electrical system goes out, it doesn't move, correct? Sorry,
it moves. It just it throws up this thing saying charging system something or other. So it's basically alerting him that there's an issue, but the truck still runs and moves under its own power. The problem is that this has happened for basically the blast of happened for the past year. So it keeps happening. And now it's getting more frequent.
I mean, if it doesn't affect anything except a warning light goes up. Man, when I went to Belize, we jumped in we went on a tour, and the guy's vehicle had every single engine light on. Every single one of them. And you know what? Still worked. Got us everywhere we needed to go.
I think with he was saying that it's so weird because it's like if you change the battery, then you have to reset certain components. Otherwise,
Right.
it will kill the battery faster.
Yeah.
And I think this charging system is part of that, but it's
Mhm.
also part of the alternator. And he has had several alternators in the truck.
Yep.
So, and
Yep.
because it's now happening more frequently, it's becoming an issue. Because the more he has to take his truck to the dealership for them to look at it, the more it's down, the more he can't do at work.
Yep. Makes sense.
So,
Vanessa says you don't want to wait till the truck is dead because then you can't shop around for the best price. You always want to replace before it dies because you have more options. Yeah, I agree. You don't want to be desperate. I totally agree. Molly, how much does replacing the electrical system cost? Swank, Allie, I'm on automositine, a non-narcotic drug. Get it from my GP. It's old school meds. Nice. Molly, if it's only 2 months worth of debt, surely he could wait.
I've gone down
Alicia,
that path.
look, I understand wanting a vehicle you can trust. I do. I really, really understand that. Alicia says for his truck, they would have to find a mechanic who can do electrical, and it would be about the same as changing out the alternator for the upteenth time, $2,000 roughly. He has had 5 alternators. Yeah, if he keeps replacing the alternator is not the problem, right? Something else is shorting it out.
That's what I'm thinking, but they can't figure it out.
But that is what's happening. Vanessa, give him a goal. When you get X commissions, you should be able to afford it. Yeah, that's what I would do too. That's exactly what I would do. This things you can do it. It's having a little bit of debt is not the end of the world if you can't get to work. Like it needs, and because he has to drive for his work, it's very
Yeah.
important. He has, and if you are front of sales, like we bought a car we really couldn't afford, but we just made the sacrifice for it because Kevin was in front of customers in that car. And so also like when you're in front of customers with that car, you kind of have to make a impression with those customers. So do you see what I mean? Like sometimes it is important that you have the right vehicle.
And those are a lot. That's a lot of what he does when he goes and visits customers. That's like he has all the things that he needs to do it. And so he's still creating those relationships. Excuse me.
People will judge you for your vehicle though, especially if you're trying to sell them something. And then Vanessa says, or ask him what he's willing to give up for the car payment. Yeah, that also. Alicia, you can only do a certain amount as a gift before it affects your tax. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. See, that's what I thought. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
I told him, give me until December. I should be able to not only pay off the last of the debt and put money aside for the new vehicle. Vanessa said, no, that's you. That's you asking him to give you something. That's not what I said. You tell him that there needs to be X number of commissions in the bank. Yes, I agree. And or if he has stuff he spends money on monthly, ask what he's willing to give up to help with the payment. Alicia laughs, says, you're right, Vanessa. Yeah. See, makes sense. Unfortunately, he doesn't have anything. He pays monthly. That's me. I've been trying to work out all angles. If he was still getting paid like old job, this wouldn't even be an issue. Alicia, I even have thought about going back to work. Vanessa, I'd probably write down on a piece of paper how much the non-commission income is, then list all the bills. She's already done that. I'll tell you that right now.
Trust me, I have written down everything.
Yeah, that she's done. She gave him a big old thing. I remember when she worked all that up.
15 pages worth of information for him.
Yep. And Vanessa says I guess what I'm saying is that all the responsibility for understanding the finances shouldn't fall on you. He understands. He just doesn't care.
Yep.
And I understand because sometimes that's Safo and I too. And Bailey have to go to an appointment, finish The Beach House by James Patterson and Peter DeJong. It's wild. Have a great day. Have a great day, Bailey. Thank you for stopping by. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Swank says bye to Bailey. Lindsay says, we have the puppy back to my sister-in-law yesterday. Aw, how was the cute little Rottweiler baby? She was really good for my hubby's mental health. So we were talking about making healthy changes to our lives, like walking at lunchtime, right? I'm telling you, it's why I got a puppy. I would not be walking or running or doing any of these things without it. The puppy really, really helped me get off my ass and get out there. I'm also, remember I said I can skip vacuuming? Yeah, not recently. I've been vacuuming a lot more. She keeps, tearing up her stuffed animals. But that's what she's supposed. I even bought her more stuffed animals to tear up because it keeps her entertained, and those are the things she's allowed to tear up. So Um, and Swank finished my morning pages during first sprint and my daily learning books this past sprint. Next sprint, I'm going to go back to P&P. Oh, joy. I'm so sorry. Almost done, though. You know what it is? At this point, it's like, I'm going to be able to check that off and say, haha, I have read it. I can be among the have read it. So that's all that counts for me right now, man.
I can even give you a prime example of like Alan not caring about the finances because I give him the numbers. I've told him that like the other day he came to me and he goes, "I didn't realize your credit card had 10,000 on it." And I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "See, when you changed jobs last year, I had my credit card down to like 6 or 7. So I was on my way to paying it off. Had you not changed jobs, that would have been paid off already." I said, "But because you changed jobs, I had to stop what I was doing to reevaluate what the new paychecks were going to be." And I said, "I still have to pay stuff each month." There are things, 5 different bills that come out from my credit card. And then I have to figure out how to pay that off. And he
Yeah,
was
what
like,
this
"Oh."
really is an old argument because I remember when he was switching jobs and you were panicking and he
Oh
didn't
my
feel
god.
any of that. Do you see what I mean?
No.
And so he still doesn't understand. He doesn't understand any of that.
Nope.
I'm like, that was the hardest part. It still is about being, this stay-at-home mom is that you have no control over the money. And I don't mean control of it. I mean of how much comes in.
Right.
Luckily, we live in a modern world and we can go back to work if we have to, if we can afford it, if we could pay for childcare. You know what I mean? Like, so I know
Mhm.
you know what I mean. I wonder if
Exactly.
the general knows what I mean, because that I remember all of this every time Kevin would be having trouble at work, I would basically go into a panic attack.
Mhm.
Because I'm like, what are we supposed to do if he's not working? I don't know. I can't match his income. Then that's the problem, right?
No.
Once you're out, I can't match his income. I couldn't match his income to
Mm-mm.
begin with, which is why I stayed home,
Mhm.
right? And so it was just it's nerve-wracking. Like I almost want to cry just remembering past trauma about it. It is unbelievably nerve-wracking. And it's something that the husbands, whoever the primary, they don't, at least the people I talked to, it was with mine, it seems it's the same with Alicia. They don't understand.
Yeah.
They don't understand that we are trying to do all the things to run this household and I need you to bring home the money, which by the way, very much like this, which might be why I
Mhm.
really relate to some of, to the women in this. Except they couldn't go get a job and they couldn't have a bank account, right? We have more, which is why I went back and got my degree. I made sure I had it back up. But the problem is, as I found out now that the kids are, in their 20s, that going to get a job after being out of the workforce that long, it's like impossible. It doesn't matter that I have my degree. It doesn't matter all the volunteering I've been doing, which is more
Nope.
work than half the jobs I did before I had kids, right?
Mhm.
None of that. It's like I was trying to say, I'm like, look, I'm definitely management material. You know how I know? I got volunteers to do all this shit, right? If you can get people
Mhm.
you don't pay to do this stuff, what do you think I could do in an actual job where you have to pay these people, right? That you have to pay over their head or being fired, right? Like that's a completely different thing than volunteering where they could walk away at any moment and lose nothing really, right?
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter. So I mean, it is what it is. And we made those choices. Alicia made the choice to stay with the kids. I made the choice to stay with the kids. So we
Well, and
made these choices and we had to live with them.
it was the only real option too, because at the time when I was pregnant with my son, that we looked at several different daycare things. We looked at the cost of it versus our income, and the daycare cost was more than what I made in a year. So we decided that it was for me to stay home.
Mhm.
And I've been doing the finances for our family for like 20 years now. But it's the same thing. It's a vicious cycle of he changes jobs and then I have to like redo it and I tell
Mhm.
him this is where we're at and it goes in one ear and out the other.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
this is one of those
Yeah.
times.
And then the husbands get mad at us because we don't want to be their mother and we're acting like their mother. So don't expect me to be your spouse too. I'm sorry, man. I can't be your
I
mother and
have
your spouse.
already like he made a comparison one day. He was like, "Well, my mom usually starts dinner at 4:30." I'm not your mom.
4:30? That's ridiculous. What time frame
Yeah,
do y'all live by? No
I don't know
way.
what time he was like, "Yeah, she started by like 4:35 and we'd eat by 5:36." And I'm like, "Listen, you lucky I get food on the table by 6:16." So don't I'm
You
not
know
your
what?
mom.
The way you've described your father-in-law, she also never had to worry about money. So if we're going to compare,
I mean, yeah, my mother-in-law has had a lot of medical issues. She's never worked a day in her life. So don't
uh,
compare me to your mom.
uh-huh, yeah, yeah. Let's see. And we have Bailey, puppy walking. And Swank says, Alicia, have his dad give you half. So that here's the thing, you file taxes jointly, right?
Yes.
So that won't work. When you
Nope.
file taxes jointly, that won't work. It's still one entity for tax reasons. Vanessa, the last 2 cars we've bought have been dealer rentals. When they give a loaner someone's cars. Yeah, you can get those pretty good. I agree. They're not abused. They're low. I agree. Actually, I leased too. We started leasing so that we could have our new car dependable, never had to worry about it. And it's cheaper than buying. I understand it means we don't own a car, but if we had to buy one, we will. But if I don't have to, I'm not gonna. So we can get a nicer car than we can afford by buying, but I never have to repair the stupid thing. And I've never been so stress-free about a car in my life. The problem is you're not going to be able to lease because he drives too many miles.
Yep.
Right? It's something that we can do because we both work from home.
Right.
So when we do travel, we travel, but that's like the only driving we do, right? So it's not, we're not getting those miles.
No.
Let's see. And Christina says, I am just enjoying my coffee and contemplation time. But now it sounds like plans are changing. So Charles has the day off today and not tomorrow. Oh, well, you need to go do some stuff today. Go, go, go. Cool-ish, but like more warning, right? I know. That's retail, man. It'll get you every time. Lindsay says, when we had an electrical fault, we got it fixed and traded in before it happened again. Yes. It's like the electrical. They can't freaking figure out what it is. And Megan got to 65%. Nicely done, Megan. Lindsay, puppy also made us have a tidier home, so that's good too. I mean, I've taken my journaling stuff back out now. Exactly. Yeah, now that you did have to hide away, the puppy will eat it. Molly says, yeah, my brother is being a dick about the woman he just divorced because of money. He claims he thought she would work full-time year-round, but turns out she was just using him. Oh, I'm sorry. Those are the things you have to work out together. Like Alicia said, they did the math of looking at it, goes, I need to stay home. And that's what Zafo and I did too. So plus Zafo wanted to move to Texas, and I was like, well, okay. And so we didn't even know anyone or any childcare or anything at that point. Ren says, I fell asleep. Well, that means you needed it. So I hope you had a good nap. How many sprints do we have left? One left. One left, Ren. We're a little behind, but not too bad considering I was gone for a week. Molly, it totally pisses me off because he's just a crappy person. But beyond that, she has an 8-year-old daughter. I asked him what had been his plans for Ella when the two of them were working. Yeah, exactly. Right. Molly said, he said, well, I don't know. I guess that she would work enough to cover daycare. What the? It just, you know what? I will not say anyone was the bad guy in that relationship. I'm going to say neither of them talked it out. Yep. You should have had that worked out before you got married. That's what that is. Yep. Especially she already had a daughter. You already knew it was going to be an issue. They should have worked that out. That's what the problem is. Christina, I stopped working because it cost more for daycare than I was making. Yeah, see, exactly. Mm-hmm. I would have had to made a lot more to make it worth it. And then the kids would have never seen us. Exactly. That's actually why I stopped. Mm-hmm. Zafo and I were making about the same amount of money. But his, he had the route he was going career-wise was going to make more money faster, where I had to go get my degree before I was going to make any more money. And so, and we really, really wanted one of us to stay home with the kids. So it ended up being me. And that's just what worked out. And again, though, we talked out it and worked at it together. And it was the right decision for us. It's worked fine. Swank says, one, Ren. Yep, one left. Molly, I don't believe she was just using him, though. Yeah. Yeah, again, they just didn't talk things. Ren says, thanks. And Molly says, that is correct, Kelly. They didn't. But we're all supposed to hate her now for using him. You're like, nice try, brother. And Ren says, what age do kids start kindergarten, preschool in the US? 5. Preschool's at 4, but everyone doesn't do preschool. And 5, and that's only half a day anyways. You can't really work. 5 is when they start school, but a lot of kindergartens are also half a day. You can't really work. So it's really 6 when they start first grade and they have a full day. And even then, again, you have to pay for after school care. If you're working a full like 9 to 5 regular job, there needs to be after school care. You got to pay for that gap. Like Alicia was talking, if she gets a job now, she has to deal with that gap. And so you have to pay for that gap for childcare. And then but otherwise they're there, full time. So that's.
And it also depends on when the cutoff for the registration for school too.
That's
because
true.
I know, like here in Florida, September 1st is the cutoff. My
In
son
Texas
was
too.
born September 7th.
Yep, and my daughter's September 3rd. Yep, so that was the same problem. And Janessa says, got TWT events up, now working on uploading last night's discussion chat to YouTube. Excellent. And Vanessa says, we talked about imposter syndrome and it was really good. Oh, I love that. That's a great discussion, Vanessa. And Ryan goes, I see. Yeah, it's a thing. All right. They're like, have lots of family. By the way, we're not going to help you with any of that family. By the way, earn more money. Oh, by the way, have more kids. Wait, but whatever. You know what?
2 is plenty.
Let's do our last sprint. Ren says, we usually start at 3 and then we had the after school care is like 7:30 to 1:45. Yeah, but that's not a full work day. Do you see what I mean? You need the after school care. Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, after school care is here, but it's not included with school. You have to pay extra.
Exactly. I wish it was. Then we wouldn't be having this issue.
Exactly. And Alicia and I are not exceptions here. This is normal stuff that every freaking family has to deal with.
Yep.
All right. Here we go. Last sprint. And that is our last sprint. We have made it through Monday. Round of applause, round of applause. Nicely done, Time Pirates. Let's see. How'd you do, Alicia?
I played with numbers. I'm playing with numbers. My head hurts. I think I'm gonna eat a ginger newt cookie when we're done this.
Ooh, that sounds delicious.
I can show you what it looks like. It's very cute. I brought several of them home.
Oh, it's a newt.
Yep.
It's literally a newt. Okay, that's so cute. I thought you meant like it was ginger and like a fig Newton, like Newton put like, so I was thinking fig and ginger and okay, that's so cute. I love
This is from the Wizarding World of Harry Potter.
It's so cute. That's so funny. Let's see. Christina, we're talking about school and after school with kids, and Christina says, and then there are days that the kids are sick, need to come home early, or the school's a day off, or a half a day, or a snow day, and workplaces don't like to adjust to that. Nope. And it's almost always the women that have to go home too. So yeah, it's a tough world. Regular school was 7:30 to 1:45. Gotcha. Yep. And Alicia says, yep. And here in Florida, we have hurricane days and non-student days, spring break, holiday breaks. So you have to account for those days as well. Right. And then it's full-time care.
Yep.
Where it says usually sports and activities could keep kids occupied till about 3 to 5. And then the school buses, taxis start taking kids home after if their parents can't do it. Yeah. But the problem with the school activities after is parents have to be there. They don't have to be there the whole time. They don't always have to be there, but a lot of times you have to be there. And there is no aftercare after that.
Yep.
And Ren says, granted, you book for whether or not you want to have that, and it is extra, unfortunately. Yes, and then it costs extra. Exactly. Ren, preschool isn't too bad because usually they have swimming lessons and pottery classes after the school day ends. We also had dance classes, baby ballet, if you will. Okay, we all need to move to like South Africa or something. This is crazy.
Yeah. That would cost us extra. And like for preschool here, I think my kids only went from like 9 to 12.
Yeah, like I said, it's just half a day. Yep.
Yeah.
Molly says, bye all. Meeting mom for lunch. Canceled minute clinic since I have a doctor's appointment Wednesday. That's smart. That was smart. Good use of time. And bring home bills from her so I can see why her credit card bill has been so big. Happy Planner and Temu probably. You're like, I already know the culprit. Ren says, and playtime and naps for kids with no activities to do. Yeah. We're all pro kids in this country, they say, but we don't actually take care of them. So I don't know what to say. Ren says, bye, Molly. I mean, as a country. I don't mean we don't take care of our kids, but as a country, like nationally, we're not taking care of them.
There's nothing in place to ensure the success of them doing what we need to do.
Yeah. Not even public school anymore. Anyways.
Yeah, not the kids, just help for parents.
Yep. Vanessa says, bye, Molly. And Alicia says, bye to Molly. And Vanessa says, okay, video is uploaded. Now got to work on the week's planning. You got this. You got this. And Chris joined us. Hey, Chris. Hello, Kelly. Just woke up. Hope you had a great cruise. I really did. I really did. It was nice. I love writers. Swank says, I'm in the middle of chapter 57 in Pride and Prejudice. Ooh, moving right along. Moving right along, Swank. Allie says, no reading that sprint, but I did get my morning pages done. Nicely done, Allie. Christina says, still trying to replan my day and did a wee bit of admin and chatted a bit. Excellent. Ren says, made it to 71%, and Audrey and Bash are not friends, and I've discovered that I have many parenting icks, and I'm not even a parent. Right? Exactly. I mean, we all have opinions on parenting, right? And then we have kids, and then we change our opinions, and then we...
Oh my gosh.
And then we understand why some people do what they did that we didn't understand. And then we don't understand why other people do things with their, it's like, why are you doing that? So, you know what? Life's about change. Yep. Christina says, thanks for hosting today, Kelly. Alicia, so glad I caught you. Been missing my coffee and contemplation time. It is so awesome to have you back, Christina. And we will see you tomorrow. Christina says, have a beautiful rest of your day and gave us all of our PSAs. And don't forget especially to save progress. And Zwank says bye to Molly. And Christina says Dee Dee sprints are up and Nicole sprints are up. And Ren, wow, that's different. Parents usually were at school for events only or parent teacher night. Yeah, no, there's a lot. That's what I did for a living. I volunteered at all these events. They only run because of volunteers. So the sacrifices we made for me to stay home and only have one income are that benefited the entire community. But again, it doesn't count as I try to go back and get, because the parents who couldn't come because they had to be at work. And I was there taking care of the kids. Do you see what I mean? I was there for the sporting events. I was there to do that. For the scouting, for the after school activities, all kinds of things. So, but of course I didn't earn money, so my contribution doesn't count. Welcome to End Stage Capitalism. One says, wow, that's different. Parents usually were at school for, oh yeah, I read that. And Swing says, good for you, Allie. Absolutely. And Kelly's reading sprints tonight. Yes, tonight I will be reading a different, a dragon of a different color. So I'm 200 pages in. It's book 4 in the Heartstraker series. And I'm really, really I'm liking the series and where it's going, but man, did it need an editor. She talks in circles. It's like almost 600 pages, and it's almost 600 pages because she talks in circles. There's so much that could be deleted out of this. So I never want to read it. And that's not what you want from your reader at all. Christina says hi to Chris, and Ren says, why are they mad at her for not watching her baby sister or being on immediate standby whenever they change their minds? Audrey is a kid too, damn it, right? Right? Let me tell you, I was responsible for my sister. Every time she would run away, I would get in trouble for it. So yeah, I understand this very well, which is why I wanted to parent my kids and not expect my kids to parent each other. I think that's why it was so important that I stayed home, or one of us, me or Kevin, stayed home. It was very important to me. And Christina says, tomorrow morning's time, Pirates. And Sprinty Fun, you've got that Bible if you're looking for anywhere to sprint anytime today. Vanessa says, thanks so much for sprints. Y'all have a great rest of your day, everyone. Megan says, thanks for the sprints. Ren says, also her parents needed therapy. Trying to force your trauma on your kids or not allowing them to live their lives in case something happens can be super harmful. Yeah, for sure. But I'll say sometimes parents just don't have a choice. Like they both have to work and they can't. So now the older kid has to watch the younger kid. That's how mine were. So they literally didn't have the choice. I had to watch them. Ren says, thanks for sprints. And Swank says, thank you for sprints. See y'all tomorrow and tonight. Absolutely. Thank you so much, y'all. And yeah, any last words?
I can't think of anything.
No, she's like, my mind is swirling with math. I just can't do it.
I
need my cookie.
It's short-circuiting.
Awesome. I'm so sorry. Well, hopefully we'll be ready tomorrow. I know that I am all reviewed and refreshed, so I should be gearing to go with word count tomorrow. I'm very excited. So thank you, everyone. It is amazing to be back. I'm so glad to be back. And I will see you all later tonight or tomorrow. Bye.